And welcome back to another podcast with Mr. Hagan. On this podcast, I just want to take a very short amount of time here just to review the ideas of unemployment. So the first two ideas of unemployment, or first two types of unemployment you're looking at right now, are frictional and structural unemployment. Frictional unemployment, ways to think about it that we've been talking about on other videos. Typically, you have the skills that are desired in the marketplace. There are companies that want to hire you. You want to go work for the company, and it's just going to take time for the employers and the employees to get matched up, and so that's frictional unemployment. There's just some friction in the labor markets, and it just takes a little while for a worker to find an employer who wants to hire them, and vice versa. But they want to work together. Just takes time to find each other. Structural unemployment, that's a more serious problem, because structural unemployment means there's something structural about the market that is preventing people from getting hired. And that structural thing isn't going to solve itself. You see, frictional will solve itself. You just need time. Structural will not necessarily solve itself. So for some reason, maybe it's a change in technology, maybe there's a change in demand in the market, maybe people just don't have the skills that are desired. Maybe, I don't have it here, but I really should, maybe wages for some reason are greater than equilibrium. The wages are above equilibrium for some reason. All of these things create some sort of structural barrier to people finding work. And so these two together, when you put these two together, frictional and structural, this is the natural rate of unemployment. That's supposed to be, sorry, that's a little hard to see here. Let's just do it this way. These two together are the natural rate of unemployment. They're going to exist for various reasons in any open, dynamic, growing economy. And then you have cyclical unemployment, which is really quite a bit different. Cyclical unemployment is due to being in the recessionary phase of the business cycle. So this no longer has to deal with the particulars of the labor market. These two have to deal with the particulars of the labor market. This has to do with the macro economy, okay? And we're in a recessionary phase of the business cycle. There's a deficiency in spending in the economy for some reason, and as a result of that, companies are not able to hire people or do not want to hire people. And so this brings up two additional ideas that connect back to all of this. The first, of course, natural rate of unemployment, which I just said, is the rate at which only natural unemployment exists. And that's this natural unemployment, that's the frictional plus structural that I just said up here. Okay, that's that natural rate. So when you're at the natural rate of unemployment, there's no cyclical unemployment. Cyclical unemployment would be equal to zero, which means essentially that you're not in a recession. Now, that then brings up the idea of what we call potential gross domestic product, and this connects back to the first important variable in macroeconomics, which is the measurement of production, or GDP, in a society. And so this is the potential gross domestic product is the GDP that could be achieved if we were at the natural rate of unemployment. That is to say, if there were no cyclical unemployment, how much could we produce? That is called our potential. And then if there is cyclical unemployment, then we will be below our potential. We'll be producing below our potential. So really, these are two sides of the same coin. Having cyclical unemployment and producing below your potential, those are two sides of the same coin, and much of what we're going to talk about in future videos is how to solve these types of problems. If you have cyclical unemployment, if you're producing below your potential, then what are the things that macroeconomists, that governments could do about this? And is it possible that the very attempt to try to do something about it, to try to fix it, will make it even worse? We'll talk about those on future podcasts. Thanks for joining me. This has been Mr. Hagan, and we'll see you on a future podcast.